Thank you to my final patrons, Straw, Bones, and Aaron.
What's up, guys? I got the pencil here, and I was doing as I usually do, just perusing through the original series. I just tend to, when you write scripts, finding smaller verses to throw random characters against, you kind of have to do that pretty often to just get out scaling stuff and stuff like that. And I came across a little interesting detail that I happened to be thinking about when I was thinking about our current Four Knights narrative. And, Hawk has been in purgatory, supposedly, for as long as he was out of purgatory. Now, because we know unless Hawk and Wild stayed in the human world, which I doubt because we don't see them at all. Like, we don't see them in the castle, we don't see them anywhere. I doubt, unless they went to go live with Bond or something like that, but even then, they're not even mentioned there. So I'm assuming that Hawk and Wild are still in purgatory. And if that's the case, Hawk should be like, he's gonna sound wild, he should be at least, and this is bare minimum, stronger than Mael. And hear me out. Okay, so remember, Bond got about 1,000 years in purgatory, like just about that. He didn't spend too much time there. He spent, I think, a little over a day. I'm pretty sure. But Wild has Hawk in there for not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, not nine, not 10, not 11, not 12, not 13, not 14, not 15, but 16 years, maybe more. Because the last time we see these two in the human realm is at the end of Cursed by Light. But Elizabeth isn't even pregnant by this time of Cursed by Light. So, if that's the case, then reasonably, Hawk and Wild, if they return back, as I expect them to, Hawk could be kind of an issue. He could be kind of an issue, like a positive issue. I don't think he's going to rebel against the Four Knights or anything, but I was just thinking, like, in terms of raw powerhouses, a lot of them kind of died off in the original series. Sure, you can bring them back. Obviously, look at Arthur bringing back the commandments. The Archangels may or may not have finished reincarnating at this point because of their whole grace thing, so they may be in the goddess realm. Mael, he doesn't have Sunshine back yet, and unless he's been training these past 16 years, he's still weaker than pre-time skip Gila, so do what you will with that. So it kind of leaves us lacking a little bit. Escanor's gone, Merlin's an evil person now, so you only really have, like, our 5 remaining sins in Gother, Mel, Bon, King, and Diane. And Elizabeth. Elizabeth is a powerhouse, too. But wouldn't it be hilarious if Nakaba just made Hawk, like, instead of a joke character, which is what Sylvan essentially is now, even though we haven't seen Sylvan in forever, my poor boy, but like 16 years is 8 point, hold on, let me check the calculator again one more time. 8.415 million years. That's how much time he's been in purgatory, and we know purgatory amps you. And like, it'd be one thing if we didn't have any example of people growing stronger in purgatory. But you gotta remember, Wild, we don't know how old he is, admittedly, but Wild, just by existing in purgatory and throwing hands with the Demon King, who probably wasn't actually trying to train the little pig boy, he could solo the Ten Commandments and the Archangels and probably beat Prime Meliodas all at the same time. Like, not gonna lie, like, all those things line up there. So what is Hawk gonna turn into with 16 years of purgatory training in existence? Like, he could absolutely go insane. Even I do agree though, Hawk is starting at a much lower point than Bond was. Like, by the time Bond went into purgatory, he was early series level. But in terms of raw stats and like how they would interact, Hawk was way weaker than early series level. He just had crazy durability. But if he's been, hunting purgatory beasts that can make Bond struggle to try and catch him and be unable to catch him, able to blitz them, if he's able to, be even relative to Wild, he could be another powerhouse. He could be like a low Demon King level threat, just wandering around. He should have his horns now, his tusks. Like, we know his species is apparently supposed to get those. Look at Wild. But it's just that Hawk is like a baby, because he was taken right after he was born 16 years ago by the time of our main series, which is when Meliodas said he showed up in the human realm. So, hypothetically, 16 years of in purgatory training, which is about 8 million years, in terms of purgatory time means Hawk can have aged up. He can also... Oh, wait a second. Hold on. I need to check something. Okay, the only issue is, though, if we're to take Wild's word at face value, he's dead. If they stayed in purgatory. And I don't think Hawk would want that. So that's the only issue. Because, like, 1,000,000 years isn't a long time for their species. It's just that Wild spent a lot of his life energy there. And for them to have spent the full 16-year time skip in purgatory, unless Wild was just off on his estimations, you know, 1,000,000 years is still a long time. He would have died 2 years into them spending time together in purgatory. And I don't think that Hawk would be too cool with that. So maybe they move back to the human world. But we don't see them. That's a weird thing. I don't see Wild. I mean, maybe actually, I don't know. Because when you think about it, Wild and Bond technically did spend 60 years together at a bare minimum. Because that's how long they were fighting the Demon King for. I don't know. It's a weird scenario we're in where Hawk and Wild could be together, one of the strongest pair of brothers in the entire verse, arguably. Can I say arguably the strong? Nah, I think Mel still bodies. I mean, it really depends on how much of an amp Hawk and Wild both could get. But hopefully they spent time in there just so we could have like an ultra omega buff Hawk that just comes in and solos Arthur. That's the real goal. That's the real hope at the end of all this. I need Hawk to solo Arthur.